Discipline and mental resilience are key factors in achieving personal and professional success. Yet many people struggle with staying consistent, overcoming setbacks, and maintaining a strong mindset in the face of challenges. What strategies can help individuals develop greater self-discipline and mental toughness? What habits and mindset shifts make the biggest impact? As a part of this series, I had the pleasure of interviewing Karolina Krzysztofik. Karolina is a certified hypnotherapist, RTT Practitioner, which is rapid transformational therapy, and a meditation instructor. And she's the founder of Aikyam Healing, a space dedicated to helping women reconnect with their authentic selves and find peace within. With a deep belief in the mind-body connection, Karolina supports those struggling with burnout, overwhelm, and self-doubt by guiding them to unlock their inner strength and to rediscover emotional freedom. With a passion for mindfulness and meditative practices, Karolina's mission is to help women heal from the inside out, slow down, and remember who they truly are beneath the noise of daily life. Inspired by Gandhi's words, "Be the change you want to see in the world," Karolina believes that when we heal ourselves, we create a ripple effect of healing in the world around us. First of all, Karolina, welcome.
Hello, Stanley.
And
Very happy to be here.
second of all, I agree with every single thing you said about when we heal ourselves, we create a ripple effect. I absolutely think you were spot on.
Yes, you're the embodiment of that. Your personal story deeply reflects this truth.
Thank you. So, how did you get into this type of work? I believe you told me it started when you were very young.
Yeah, it literally started not when I was very young, but I was probably 14 and 15, and I was really struggling with my health. I had horrible stomach pains. My digestive system was absolutely not working. So I had problems to even sleep. I just couldn't eat anything, and I was in a really bad state. And so one day I remember I was reading a book by Raymond Moody. It was something Life After Life, something like that. And inside there was a script with a self-hypnosis. And I was like, oh, let's see what I can do with this script. So I started to, I learned the script and then I applied it. And you kind of like in this self-hypnosis, it's all about relaxing the body. So I started to relax my body from the feet to head, but I never got to the head because somewhere along, my tummy, when I started to focus my tummy, I just fell asleep. The pain was gone. And it was like just finding gold mine. I was like, oh my God, what just happened? Because I can't even describe the pain that I was suffering 3 weeks per month, all the time, during the day, during the night. Nothing was working, no one knew exactly what was happening. I knew what was happening. I was very stressed. I was emotionally overwhelmed, yet no medical doctor asked me this simple question, like, what's going on in your life? And so from that day, when I found this trick, I thought, oh my God, there is actually a connection between what I'm thinking, what I'm doing inside, and it actually has effect on my body. And it made sense because the stress is also something that we experience inside, yet it can express itself outside as a disease. So of course, like now, it was like the 90s in Poland. Now, with internet and everything, we know it's a mind-body connection. So I'm not telling you nothing new, but for me, this knowledge was absolutely not normal. I actually
Still
just
very
stumbled on
important.
it.
It's very important.
It's very important. And so this is my passion. My passion lies precisely there, like how our thoughts and emotions can affect our bodies and ultimately our lives.
So right then at a young age, you said there's something here,
There is something here.
and your passion for that grew to where you achieved all these certifications.
Yes. So see, like I think that moment with the script, with the self-hypnosis was so powerful that I, like I just stopped telling you my story right there, then and there. But yeah, then I started to essentially read all the books, like, The Power of Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. I started to meditate. I started to discover the vast world of yoga, which is full also of beautiful techniques like mindfulness, meditation. I'm instructor today of meditation, breathwork, mindfulness. And when I was working for Facebook, because I was working for Facebook for many years, the
No
stress
stress,
of a
no
daily
stress there,
life.
right?
There's no stress there, absolutely not. But that moment in life reminded me like, hey, there is something here that I forgot about myself. Like there is a passion that I left behind. And this passion is actually in helping people and in unlocking the powers of our subconscious mind, right? I was using it for myself all the time, but I was like, actually, that's what I want to do in life. And so then I found Marisa Peer, who's the founder of Rapid Transformational Therapy. And I'm right now a certified RTT practitioner. And this is the RTT is based on hypnotherapy, but also many different modalities like neuroplasticity and NLP and mindfulness and many, many others. It's a very, very powerful technique.
So as you begin, you said something very important. You decided at some point you wanted to work on your own passion. And I'm assuming before that you felt like you were working on somebody else's passion.
Yeah, so I was always, since I was 8 years old, I always had a vision or a goal to achieve, a kind of a dream. When I was 8, I thought that I would like to be working with languages, you know. So then I started to study languages, and this is all another story, but I achieved that. Then I thought I want to translate a book. I didn't know how I would do that, but years later, I translated a book. Um, and so my journey was always about this vision that was guiding and driving me. And I always knew I wanted to help people, but it's kind of like I had something different to achieve prior to that. So when when I achieved everything that I wanted to achieve, then I stopped and I said, okay, now is kind of like the last chapter almost in my professional life, in my career. Now, actually, I want to focus all my energy and internal and external resources in
What's
building
next? You
something to
said
help
what's
people.
next?
What's next? What's next? Like how I can, express the deepest passion that I was starting all these years, which is working with the subconscious mind, working on the mind-body connection. Yes, and that's beautiful that you're asking that, because we had a conversation prior to this interview, and we discussed, right, like how incredible important it is to actually have a passion in your life. It can be very small, but I truly believe that when we start tapping into what we love doing, it opens the door, A, for creativity, and B, it makes your life not only more beautiful, but it's a life full of meaning. And also on a practical level, it lowers your stress down, because now you're in this creative mode. And when you're in creative mode and when your stress levels are down, you probably don't need to, go and chase after some, a habit that is not really good for you, like just snacking on this wrong food, or maybe watching Netflix for way too many hours per day. Now, actually, you open yourself up to
Drinking too
create
much.
something.
Yeah. You become aligned.
Yes, it's a beautiful world. World. Yes, you become aligned and you become empowered in a new way. Because many times when we hear the word empowerment or power or strength, it sounds aggressive, right? It's like I have to impose my will, I have to use my free will in order to achieve. And it feels sometimes like a struggle. And it feels like a struggle because many times we are fighting within. But when you choose to express something that you love, there is no force in that. It just flows. And it's this alignment that you just said.
As the Tao Te Ching, that's called Wu Wei.
Wu Wei, exactly.
Wu Wei.
Yes.
Wu Wei. Effortless action. It flows.
Yes. It flows. Yes. And then you really don't need to be, disciplined in this kind of stressful way. It's just you do it with pleasure. And our brain is actually always seeking pleasure, but here we're getting something else, something more profound. It's not so much pleasure, it's happiness.
And
So it's sustainable.
your work becomes play.
Yes.
And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm at the phase in my life where a lot of people, I'm going to be 66 very soon. A lot of people don't want to work. I want to work. But actually, I tell you, I don't want to work. I want to play, and I want
Yes.
work, and I want my work to be play. And what
Yes.
I enjoy doing, like you, is helping people.
Yes.
And
Be
yeah,
Yes, yes. Because we're all in this together, like, and there is so many things that we can do for one another. And yeah, and I think, like this, again, a beautiful word, like playing, expressing ourselves, right? Like feeling this joy as when you were a kid, right? When you ask a child, like a child will always have a dream, actually many dreams, and sometimes like sounds ridiculous, right? Like I want to like live on Mars. Like I mean, probably Elon Musk, but you know what I mean? And it's like, yes, we should be actually always dreaming because our imagination is one of our greatest powers actually and tools to go beyond what is right now. But also like, I think like that we at some point in our lives we get disconnected from our heart, from our passion, from our dreams, and from using our imagination. I feel personally that along the way, people tell us this is silly. This is not how the world looks like. You have to leave it behind and become something that the society system need, right? So you abandon yourself, you abandon your dreams, you abandon your passion. And I have chills when I say that because I think this is where the key is for our happiness and to feel and be truly empowered
is to reignite that passion,
to ignite that
to
passion.
to regain that passion, to walk through life with the curiosity and the spirit of a child.
Yes.
And the world has a habit of beating us down, and it's up to us to not let it happen.
Yes.
And don't always listen to what other people say. They don't know you, they don't know your situation. And I cannot tell you, I'm one of those kind of people, when you tell me I can't do something, that's when I'm going to go do it twice.
Yeah, that's a good rebellion.
And and as long as it's a positive thing, what's wrong with that? It we are constantly being filled. What you're talking about is you're talking about limited thinking. And the world tries to fill us with that. People around us often try to fill us with that. That's why I think it's so important to surround ourselves with empowering people. My example, I am enjoying speaking with you immensely. I will remember this conversation. You and I will probably have future conversations. They will be positive conversations. They will be productive conversations. They will be conversations that help each other and help others. You're the kind of person I need to be around.
And likewise.
Thank you. I hope this is the case. And the other thing is on the flip side, it's caring about each other because the world, people always ask me what I think the number one problem in the world is. And I always say it's all too often, all too many of us only care about ourselves. And when I help you, look at all the good that you're doing. That's making the world a better place. How is that a bad thing? That helps me. And when you help me, the same thing, hopefully. And that's the way it's supposed to work. That's the way it should work. That's the best way for it to work. Care about each other. It's real simple.
It is. And I feel also, Stanley, that because we are living lives many times in isolation, we are disconnected from one another. This creates mental health issues because we are all, we all have our stress in lives, we all have fears. And when you feel alone, all those monsters are coming from the closet and they are actually getting bigger because now it's like I'm alone with all of that, but it doesn't have to be that way, right? So really being that if you can go outside, go for a walk and feel that on the street you're surrounded by your brothers and sisters, right? You would feel so much more comfortable. You would feel so much more peaceful and loving. So it feels like we're talking, like we're not discovering a wheel here. It's really simple, right? But somehow the world doesn't work that way. And so we are
Let's change it.
oftentimes very
Let's
lonely.
change
Let's
it.
change it. Let's change it. Let's change it, And I don't believe that, like it has to be like a big thing, like I don't think it has to be like, oh no, like this is like ridiculous, this is surreal, like it will never happen. It can happen, right? It takes small habits, small actions, like smiling to this neighbor that you never talk to, saying hello to a stranger, noticing that sometimes people behaving in a way, not internalizing it, not making it personal, not thinking, oh my God, like this person looked at me such and such, like, they behaved in such manner, like an asshole. It's like, no, like someone is having a bad day. I'm having a bad day, right? When someone smiles to me on the street, like it helps. Like it doesn't have to be, like a beautiful conversation, but small little things help us also mirror each other. So when I smile to you, you smile to me, magic happens. It does.
Yes, it absolutely does. Is there anything, as we're wrapping this up, is there anything else
Yeah.
you add?
Sorry.
Is there anything else you would like to add that you think we haven't covered?
Yeah, I'd say that whatever you want to do in life, right? First of all, you need to have this vision and you have to be determined. You need to feel that something is clicking. And I feel that, like it's very difficult to have a vision if you don't exactly know what your passion is. So again, go back to your heart, start meditating. By meditating, I mean just start allocating 10, 15 minutes per day in silence and tap into what's going on within. Sometimes what's going on within, it's not always super pleasant, right? Because you will have those thoughts that are, not always nice. But if you go down to the space of your heart and you start tapping and feeling into yourself, right? There will be a voice of wisdom within. Ask this voice, what is that I can create? What is that I can express? How can I express myself in a better way, right? And sometimes this is actually how we can then envision what our true goal really is. Because sometimes, like we spoke about weight loss, sometimes we think, like when I lose 50 pounds or 50 kg, whatever, like then I'll be happy. No, it's actually in reverse. You're actually chasing happiness by having this vision of your body getting stronger. And don't get me wrong, like the body is important, but what's behind it? What are you really looking for? Because the weight loss can be just a byproduct of you expressing yourself in a new way and chasing your bigger dreams. Maybe this bigger dream is actually to change, change your job, like leave the job and, like do something else. Or maybe you don't have to leave anything. Maybe you can just, on top of what you're doing, maybe you can start, if you like baking, maybe you can, like start selling, like your favorite muffins or whatever. So tap into yourself, go back to the space of your heart, rediscover your dreams, your passion, then start working with a vision. This is working with the subconscious mind. What do you see in the screen of your mind? And go big, start dreaming. But by dreaming, I mean literally feel into this vision. Now, when I'm in this new vision, in my new life, what do I see? How does it feel? What can I hear? What are the words that I'm offering to myself and to others? Inner dialogue, hyper important. That's exactly what I just said. What are the words that you're telling yourself every day? Stanley, I noticed that people are speaking to themselves in a way, and I know that by, like firsthand. We all speak many times to ourselves in a way that we would never speak to anyone. To anyone else, let alone to someone who we love and respect. So choose better words and just play with it.
I think that's fantastic advice. Thank you. This is
Thank you.
been very pleasant 25 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for creating the space for this conversation.
You're welcome.